Guys, I'm going to do my NBA Finals series preview now, and I'll give you guys my MVP prop pick and my picks for game one. Alright, let's start with the Cavaliers on offense, what I think they're going to do with the ball, how they will play it, how I think they should play it. Initially, when I was looking over the matchups, trying to find advantages for each team, the main advantage where I thought the Cavaliers would be able to assert themselves was in the half-court offense. Now, in the half-court, statistically, Cleveland is outperforming Golden State, and the numbers would indicate they're doing so by wide margins. Now, I mean, quite simply, it's because simply they have the better isolation players. LeBron and Irving are probably the two best one-on-one half-court players in the NBA. But those numbers are a bit skewed because although it'll show up in the box score, if you look in the box score for game one and you'll look at the half-court sets, you'll probably see the Cavaliers will outscore Golden State in the half-court sets. However, the reason for that is Golden State likes to trap a lot on defense and gamble. So let's say the Cavaliers are running a pick and roll. LeBron has the ball. I would expect Green from the starting lineup to guard James. Iguodala will sub in, and then he'll guard James, and have KD primarily and Kevin Love. Golden State is going to try to keep Durant on Love, and the Cavaliers will probably try to run pick and rolls with Kevin Love to try to get the switch, to try to get LeBron and KD and take him to the basket, hopefully get some fouls. So when LeBron is driving to the basket, he's either scoring, kicking it out, and the Cavaliers score in the half-court sets. However, when they do turn it over, and Golden State takes it down the other way, I think if Steph Curry and Kevin Durant are going to have big series, it's going to come a lot in transition. So say the Cavs, for argument's sake, run 25 possessions in the half-court. If they score on 12 of them, and Golden State only scores on 10 half-court possessions, you would think Cleveland has the advantage. But if Golden State gets, let's say, 3-4 turnovers in Cleveland's half-court offense and convert, let's say, 5-6 points on average, then the edge is actually Golden State's. So I expect Golden State to try to, and I believe the odds makers, if you're looking at the large total, the large over-under for game one, the odds makers expect Golden State to go small as well. And one of the main advantages of going small is the pick and roll defense. So if you don't have a big on the floor, and your big is technically Draymond Green, then you're better suited to defend the pick and roll. Now, I was looking through the tape and I was trying to find instances where teams were successful versus Golden State. Naturally, I was watching game one where the Spurs, before they lost Kawhi Leonard, had control of the game. Now, actually what they did, I was actually surprised, was really pretty simple. There was no fancy stuff. They had everyone out in the perimeter, and they would either put in the post for Aldridge, go one-on-one, take their time, and if they doubled, they would make the pass out to the perimeter. Very straight-up vanilla offense, and Golden State were constantly trying to trap, got into some trouble. Cleveland, however, does not traditionally run those type of offense. They like to mix it up. They like to get switches. So in those scenarios, I expect Golden State to be able to come away with a decent amount of turnovers. And if they do come up with turnovers, Golden State is actually top 3 in the NBA defending the 3 as well. So even when you do convert in your pass, you don't turn it over, you better knock down those 3s. And Golden State is great at closing. They're number 3 in the NBA in defending the 3, but when you take into account how many chances they take, how often they double down low, and then close on the open shooters, that 3-point defensive percentage is actually way better than that. Another key for Cleveland is going to be Tristan Thompson. In order for the Cavs to even be competitive with Golden State, they're going to need offensive. That will be imperative. If Thompson's is not hitting the offensive glass hard, they'll be at a big disadvantage. Now, when Golden State does go small, I expect defensively they're going to put Steph Curry on J.R. Smith. The reason for that is as follows. J.R. Smith is mostly a stationary pick-and-pop shooter. He's not driving to the basket too much. And Curry's actually a decent defender when it comes to when he's playing a spot. He's not a great man-to-man, but when he's playing a spot on the floor, he's a good first step. He'll come away with some turnovers, and they're not going to want him running around that much. So they'll probably put him on J.R. Smith. Now, if they're going small, I would not be surprised if, although I think this will probably manifest itself later on in the series, if Cleveland will actually run some screens with J.R. Smith on Curry and try to get Curry on LeBron in the pick and rolls. Now, the biggest negative for Cleveland is their bench, especially versus Golden State. When you're relying on Darren Williams, unless Darren Williams is going to have to score some. When you're relying on Darren Williams to score and Korver to score, when LeBron is not on the floor, LeBron is literally, to win the game, LeBron is literally going to have to be 48 minutes. Golden State has such a huge advantage. I can see them easily outscoring Cleveland by 10 plus when LeBron is off the floor. And defensively, with how good Golden State is on the three-point line, especially in half-court sets, well, Kyle Korver is, most of his threes come in half-court sets as opposed to transition threes, which is more Kyrie Irving, J.R. Smith, and even LeBron. I think it'll be tough for their bench to match up. All right, that about sums it up on that side of the floor. Now let's shift over to Golden State on offense. Now, on offense, I actually believe that the most important player for Golden State is going to be Klay Thompson. Now, the reason for that is as follows. They're going to have LeBron shadowing KD for the majority of the time. If they don't, they have no chance. They need someone to stop KD. There's no one else on the floor for Cleveland that can defend KD other than LeBron. They're going to have JR on Steph Curry. That leaves Kyrie Irving on Klay Thompson. And Klay Thompson is actually going to be posting him up. Now, that is one reason why I will be playing the under in Game 1, is because even though the odds makers are taking into account Golden State going small and thinking it'll be a higher scoring game, I actually think the small lineups will cause Golden State to search for Klay in the post. That takes more time, and traditionally I'm not a big fan of post play. I know the old timers like it, but it's been proven not to be a statistically valuable possession. But Klay is still capable of changing that. If the Warriors are going to win this series, I think Klay Thompson's going to have to play well. He's going to get his chances down low. So, I think that'll take time, so I'm going to be looking to play the under in Game 1. And I'm actually going to play Klay Thompson for MVP. Odds are about 25-1, 30-1 at a couple of books. I think that represents tremendous value. Now, obviously, gun to my head, I don't think Klay Thompson's going to be the MVP. But I do believe in order for Cleveland to win, Klay Thompson will have to be successful. And being that he will be guarding Kyrie on the defensive end, he will have a predominant role in this series. So I think that's good value. Now, moving on, Zaza Pachulia is actually going to be important for Golden State. I actually can't stand Pachulia, and he actually thought before looking at the film, that he's a terrible player. But say what you want, he sets tremendous screens. And in that offense, that's key. They need Zaza to set, just if nothing else, just set great screens. Other keys are going to be whether Golden State's small lineup can be effective with LeBron on the floor. You're going to have to play him one-on-one. Probably not going to trap early on. And obviously, J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith cannot get lost on screens. He's going to be guarding Curry probably. He cannot get lost on screens on Steph Curry. And lastly, I think a big key for Cleveland is going to be getting Shumpert in the game. Shumpert matches up very well. You'll need him to guard, and you'll need him to score some. He'll have plenty of open looks. Shumpert is going to have to be in the plus. If he's in the negative per possession while he's on the floor, I think Golden State will win. So my picks are as follows. You know what? I'll just post the picks in the tweet with this video. Good luck. Let's cash.